What's going on, guys? It's Adonis. Now, Flash episode 3 of season 4 left us with a few unanswered questions, mostly regarding Wally and this baby. Now, at the time, I didn't really know what it meant, but after sitting on it and editing my last video, something came into my head, and it's a theory around a new Reverse Flash coming to the show, and no, it's not for the crossover. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. Now, if you guys are fans of The Flash, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you have notifications turned on so you don't miss any future content. All right, so before we get into it, let's actually talk about the Flash that I'm talking about, and then also how he could either fit in this season or the next season. So the Flash that I'm referring to is Daniel West. So long story short, Daniel West ends up killing his mother in childbirth. Then his dad, obviously being super upset and bitter about it, ends up going super drunk, becomes an alcoholic, and just becomes super abusive towards Daniel. And Daniel ends up one day pushing him down a flight of stairs, crippling him for life. Iris never forgives him. He ends up leaving home, running away, becoming a thug, ends up getting put into prison by the Flash. And then one thing leads to another. He ends up getting a hold of a Speed Force item. Long story short, he tries to go back into time to fix his relationship with Iris by killing his father instead of having the younger version of himself doing it. That way, him and Iris are always good, and that just backfires. They end up walking in the event when he kills his father. So now the reason why this is so interesting is because some of these qualities, some of these, story beats could be implemented into what's actually going on right now. So let's start with the Thinker. So we already know that the Thinker has formulated this entire plan. Now, what we haven't seen him do yet is his ability to mind control / brainwash. Now, considering the fact that Wally is leaving, he's no longer going to be in Central City, this may allow the Thinker to now utilize his skill set, his thinking cap, to actually control Wally, turning him into a Reverse Flash type of character, just evil, somebody he can manipulate and control over that has a Speed Force. And this would be a really cool opposition for Team Flash. And I feel like this would actually give the Thinker a way to keep Team Flash occupied while he's trying to plan other things. He can obviously mind control Kid Flash while he's planning other objectives. Now, another story beat that literally just got announced in this last episode was the fact that Cecile is pregnant. Now, we already know that the season runs congruent with the actual time in real life. And right now, we're not really 100% sure how far along Cecile actually is with this baby. She could be 1 or 2 months already in. So if she's already 2 months in, there is a very high chance that this baby can be born before the season finale. Now, if this is the case, this is where things get really interesting for a lead up into the next season. Now, we already know that usually every season somebody dies on the Flash. Like, it's always been something that's happened. So this season, it really comes down to who's dying right now. And based off the story of Daniel West, this could actually be somebody that dies, and it will impact the team, it will impact Joe significantly, but also will, start the storyline of Daniel West. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking like, well, how is he the Reverse Flash as a baby? Now, this is the part where things get interesting, because starting the next season, if Joe is obviously in a state of depression, he's drinking a lot, Iris and Barry are the ones kind of taking care of, baby Daniel at the time, because Joe's just in a rut. And then next thing you know, you have the future version of Daniel come into the past wanting to kill Joe. There is a huge story opportunity there around this character, but it's so early right now that when I watched it, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, man, why would there be a baby? Like, why would we need a baby right now? Why are you introducing a baby the 3rd episode into the season? Like, that makes no sense. But from this perspective, it actually makes way more sense. And considering the fact that they didn't want to introduce another speedster this season, they really wanted to make sure that it was focused on the Thinker. I really feel like these are the 2 ways that they could introduce an evil speedster. Either brainwashing Wally West and utilizing him as a Reverse Flash type of character, or introducing Daniel West at the very end, last episode, or a couple episodes before the finale, to where Cecile dies, Daniel's born, Joe goes into depression, and the next season you have the future version of Daniel coming back to kill Joe. That would be craziness. And obviously the reason why is because Joe gets into this really, depressed state. As he gets older, he ends up being very abusive. So this is where Daniel would coming back wanting to kill Joe because of that. Or he could be coming back off of something else, who knows? But it's just extremely interesting, the fact that they're introducing a baby right now. And that's the only thing that I could think of that would make the most sense. So what do you guys think? Do you think Daniel West is a possibility either a version of him created by the Thinker with Wally? Or do you think, you know, Daniel will be born at the end of the season by Cecile and go from there? I want to know your guys' thoughts on that in the comments down below. And also, if you guys have other theories around the baby or around what Wally will be doing in the next few episodes, let me know in the comments as well. And if they're awesome, I'll do a video on them. And also make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and have that notification bell turned on so you don't miss any future videos. If you guys like this one, hit that thumbs up button, show your boy some love. And if you want to check out my last video, the link will be right here to the side. All right, guys, till next time. See you later.